Welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video I am doing 2025's first episode of Random Ranking. Now, here's the thing. I have decluttered over 50 palettes out of my collection. I've decluttered a few more since I finished up my last collection and declutter video. There was 2 parts. I have decluttered the Haunted Europe from Nomad. I am gifting that to my friend Tracy, because I don't love the color story. I was gonna try to force myself to use it, and I just am not wanting to do that. So Tracy's getting that palette. I need to mail that to her. And then I did declutter my Blush Tribe palettes, the Hasina 2 and the Paulina palette. I did. DW from Dub's Beauty Diary, she and I were chatting on Instagram, and she said something about how, oh man, I always wanted to try Blush Tribe. That's so cool that you have those palettes. I wish I'd tried the brand, something to that effect. And I just said, do you want the palettes? She's like, are you serious? And I said, yes, I'm serious. If you want them, I'll give them to you. Not that I mean, I whined for so long about those palettes, and I was so thrilled that Nikki Raven sent those to me. I have used both of them. I've used Hasina 2 twice and Paulina once, and then they've sat on that shelf. And I just want them to go to a home where they're going to be used and loved and appreciated. Not that I didn't love and appreciate them, but use, that's the, you know. And so it's almost like I built the palettes up so big in my mind that I just can't use them. I know that's so bizarre, so I did gift those to DW. And then I also decluttered the Elf Hot Jalapeno, because I thought, I don't remember the last time I used it. I have all these other green palettes. So yeah, so I have a total now of 199 palettes, because when I filmed the end of the last collection and declutter video, I said 201, but I'd already decided to declutter the Elf Hot Jalapeno, and I meant to mention that and I forgot. So anyway, so I don't have as many palettes as I used to have the last time I did random ranking, and I was kind of keeping track. Well, I was keeping track of all the palettes I'd already ranked, and I just started over. I created a whole new list of my eyeshadow palettes, and I'm just starting over. So I'm going to be pulling in palettes I've already ranked, but not in the same combo of 10 palettes that I've ranked in the past. So let me tell you how this works. What I do is I randomly generate 10 palettes out of my collection, and I rank them for you, and I tell you why I've ranked them. And I just look at the 10 palettes that I have selected for each episode and rank those amongst each other, not really thinking about my collection as a whole, if that makes any sense. So that's what I'm doing today, and I really enjoy doing this. It's just for fun. I know that some people don't love ranking videos because they feel like, well, how can you do that? So it's just for fun and just my own method of thinking. You guys might think I would never rank them like that, and that's totally fine. But there's a lot of people that really enjoy ranking type videos. I used to rank my monthly roundup type videos, the palettes that I use throughout the month, the prior month. I can't do that because it's just too hard. So let's get into it. But before I get into it, I'm going to show you a couple things. First of all, on my eyelids today is the Midnight Haze from Blairdale Cosmetics MUA. I really wanted like a kind of a diffused, smoky, murky look. I don't know if it suits me, and I don't know that the skill set that I have is conducive, but that's what I tried to do. I use this shade here called Blackout on my lower lash lines, and then on my outer V and my crease, just really try to like blend and smoke it out, blow it out. And then I used Hazy Night around the outside edge, and then I put Roxy on my lids. So beautiful. God, this is a gorgeous shade. I put a little bit of this on my lower lash lines as well, and then I used a shade out of the Aurora Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills in my inner corners. And on my lips is the Lip Icon from Beauty Moon Cosmetics and M10, I think. This is a workhorse, this lip product. Also, I wanted to show you something that I found in my daughter's bedroom when I went to iron my cardigan. This is her graduation cap that she wore. She graduated from high school in 2017, and it says, "I am woman, hear me roar." And I just had to show this to you guys. I think this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life, and I have this hanging on her wall in her bedroom, but I don't know why, I just felt like sharing it with you. Okay, because I just think it's so cool. All right, I have all of my palettes now in my notebook, rewritten. I took all the old ones, the stuff I'd already had written down, ripped them out, threw them away, and just started fresh. And what was so strange is that I had counted, I wrote down all the palettes from how I had them written down before, and I said I had 187 palettes, excluding the ones I'd decluttered, but I have 199 palettes. So I was missing a lot off this list. I didn't realize that. Okay, so like I said, 199. So let me go into my random picker generator app and go into number and change this to 199. And then I'm going to start grabbing palettes at random out of here. 45. Okay, 45 is ColourPop It's My Pleasure. Nice. Okay, palette number 2. 26. All right. That is BH Cosmetics Avocado Toast. Awesome. Third palette. 78. 78. 78. That is Ladybug Glow, the Ladybug Glow palette. Okay. Fourth palette. 144. 144. That is the XO Cosmetics Valkyrie palette. Okay, fifth palette, 136. That is the Unearthly Not Normal palette. The sixth palette, 145. That is the Zoeva Matte Spectrum. Seventh, 132. That is the Uoma Coming to America palette. Oh, where was I at? Is that, now I'm on the 8th palette, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8th palette. 35, okay. That is, oops, the ColourPop Aurora Struck palette. Ooh, 9th palette. 135. Did I already say that one? I feel like I did, right? I hate it when it does this. Oh no, that's the You Can Be My Honey palette. Okay, last palette here. 197. And that is the Pinky Rose 80s Baby palette. Now the only rule I have really with this is that if I haven't used the palette, I'm not going to rank it, because how can you rank a palette you haven't used? And I do have a few that I still need to use. I will be using soon. So I'm going to go round up all of these palettes and rank them for you, and then explain to you why I have ranked them the way that I have. So of course I have rounded up all the palettes and I have ranked them for you. Now let me give you some parameters as to how I rank these. I think about the quality and formulation, the color story, my preferences of course, and like the experiences that I've had creating looks with the palettes. That's it really. I don't dislike any of these palettes, or they would not have been allowed to stay around in my collection. I really enjoy them. In a lot of cases, I absolutely love them. But of course, there are palettes I like more than others in my collection. So what I will do is start off with the palette that's in the 10th ranked spot, and then move up the list, of course, to the palette that's in the number 1 ranked spot, and tell you why I've ranked them how I have. Okay, number 10 is the 80s Baby from Pinky Rose Cosmetics. Now, I had this once. I got it in a BoxyCharm, and the palette that I was given was kind of a hot mess. A couple of the shadows fell out. One of them broke. I honestly wasn't super thrilled with the palette, so I was like, nah, I'm going to declutter it. Well, then Andy Does Stuff, my dear Andy girl, she reached out to me and said, hey, I have 2 of these, and we were going to do an 80s collab, like a pop culture collab. And she said, why don't I send you one and we can both use the palette together in our looks? And I was like, okay, thinking, I don't know if I'm going to get along with it, but sure, like that would be really fun. I would do anything for a friend and with a friend. Anything. Well, I mean, within reason, but illegal? Maybe. We'll see. So anyway, when I got the palette and played with it in the video, I really liked it actually. And I wonder if maybe the palette I got initially was a bum palette. But the thing is, I've only used it the one time, and although I do think it's a really beautiful color story, it does kind of, I don't know if it throws me for a loop, but I don't know. It's just not something that I would reach for commonly. So I'm going to hold on to this and keep it in my collection until my next go around and see what I do with it. And if I don't do anything with it from now until the next go around, I may declutter this. I probably will. It is a really nice formulation. It is. I mean, I can't really say anything super negative or anything about it. It's just not one, for whatever reason, that I reach for often. Number 9 is the Zoeva Matte Spectrum palette. And this was a gift from Steph, my best friend and sister. I've had this in my collection for quite some time. And it's a lovely formulated all matte palette. And that's basically the reason why it's in the 9th spot, is just because it's all matte and there's no shimmers in here, which you don't have to have shimmers in the palette, but I do love me some shimmers. But I will say this was a little tricky to rank because everything works really well in here. And what I love about it is that the mattes are like more toned out, like softer, more muted shades. And I think that's really fun to have in my collection. And I really like to use this in conjunction with like an all shimmer palette or my single shimmers. I've done that a few times on my channel, pulled this in when I'm using either single shimmers or an all shimmer palette. And I definitely want to continue to do that. I mean, there's really, this was hard for me to rank. No reason that it's in the 9th spot other than it just doesn't have any shimmers. Number 8 is the Coming to America palette by Uoma Beauty. Now, this is gorgeous, another gift from Steph. I mean, look how beautiful that color story is. It's just very tricky for me to put looks together with this palette, and I've only used it one time because of that. I just get intimidated by it. But really what I want to do this year, I'm really going to push myself to do this year, is to really grab palettes out of my collection and play with them that intimidate me or make me, and not just go monochromatic, but do something really fun. You know, I'm really working on getting the cut crease technique mastered. And that for me is a really great way to combine shadows that maybe don't, you know, mesh well together, blend well together, get really murky together. Using the cut crease technique is a really good way, in my opinion, to combine shades together without totally like murking them up so much you can't even tell what the hell's on your eyelid. But yet using different colors together. Am I making any sense? This is a lovely formula, really nice quality. I just need to play with it more, and I'm sure I would have ranked it higher. Number 7, this is not easy, but I'm keeping it this way. Number 7 is the Unearthly Not Normal palette. I do think it's got an incredible packaging, and I love this color story, but I'm just not super impressed with the formula and the quality of this palette. One of my subscribers let me know that they actually reformulated this palette and re-released it. I don't know when that was. And I don't know if, I haven't had this for very long. I just got this like last fall, I think. Like just this past fall, or was it summer? I don't know. It has not been in my collection for super long. So I don't know when this was formulated, what kind of formula it has necessarily, but I just like the formula of the Strawberry Milkshake palette better that I have from Unearthly. And so that's why this is ranked a little lower. The shimmers just did not really wow me that much. They're kind of just, I don't know. I need to keep playing with this. I've used it twice. And my friend Susie challenged me to put the greens and purples together in a look, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm really going to do that, you guys. I'm going to challenge myself to do stuff different with palettes than what I would normally do. In the 6th spot is the You Can Be My Honey palette. This is such a great dupe for the Urban Decay Naked Honey. And this was like, I don't know, it was not more than $10 off Amazon, and they do have their own website. And I have really sung the praises of this brand many times here on my channel. I know that I've decluttered a good few of my You Can Be palettes just because I have other stuff in my collection and I felt like that made the most sense. But, and I do have the Naked Honey. So why do I need this? I need this because I want to show that you can get a cheaper dupe and it works really, really well. And this would be a great thing to use for like Battle of the Palettes, this on one eyelid and the Naked Honey on the other. I gotta start doing that, you guys. What's wrong with me that I don't do that? I have like this like mind block against it. I really want to. I was gonna say I'm gonna do it, but I've been saying that for like 2 years. This is such a lovely quality palette. For like less than $10, you'd think, oh great, but no. It's really nice for any amount of money. It's a really nice palette, I'm telling you. And, you know, I do hear some people talking about You Can Be. I wish I would hear more people talking about You Can Be. I could have even ranked this higher, but. The 5th palette, this might surprise you, is the Ladybug Glow palette. And normally when I have a Ladybug Glow palette in one of these episodes, it's ranked number 1, no questions asked. The reason why this is 5th is here we have another color story that makes me a little uncertain. I'm a little intimidated by. I don't always know what to do with other than go the monochromatic route, which is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with monochromatic looks. I'm not here to throw any shade on monochromatic looks. Okay, I do them all the time. But it's just a little tricky. However, the shimmers in here, there's three. There's this one that is like a freaking flashlight, neon strobe light, wall. I mean, you can see me from outer space when I have this on my lids. And then these two are super duochrome, and they're just gorgeous. And the mattes are, I mean, you guys know how I feel about Ladybug Glow. The mattes are just sheer perfection, blendable, pigmented, all that stuff. Again, this is another palette I really want to get fun and funky and creative with this year. So number 4 is the It's My Pleasure palette from ColourPop. This is one of my favorite ColourPop palettes. And it is smaller, like 9 pans, and it is more monochromatic. And so you might think, what's so great about it? I feel like there's a lot of different things you can do with this, because you can go purple, you can go pink, you can go a mix of the two, you can go very light and ethereal, you can have, there's some depth in here. There's even like, you know, like the wine kind of berry tones in here as well. So I think this is a great mix, pink, purple, berry shades. And you know what I just thought of, you guys? I am just over here, my brain is just so like on fire with ingenious ideas, or am I just fooling myself? I want to do a battle of the palettes with this and the Rocha palette from Natasha Denona. Like, I know that palette has more shades than this, but wouldn't that be the coolest thing ever? Or are you guys like, no, that would not be the cool? I really, though, want to do that. Anyway, this palette is gorgeous. Really enjoy it. So happy it's in my collection. The palette that's in the 3rd spot is the XO Cosmetics and Beautiful Tragedy MUE Valkyrie palette. She is the baddest ass of the baddest asses in the world. This color story is so gorgeous. Cool tones and, you know, black, this kind of like forest green, blue, this icy blue, oh, so good. Silvers, this, and it's got this really wonderful pop of like wine. And love this brand. This does not get near enough love in my collection in videos, but I gotta remedy that too this year, because this is just dumb for it to sit, because it's so good. It's such a great quality palette and so many fun tones and works so well, and she is the baddest ass of all the baddest asses. Number 2 belongs to the BH Cosmetics Avocado Toast palette. This isn't my, I don't know if it's my favorite grungy palette, but it's top 3, that's for dang sure. I love the hues in here, and this type of palette is just very near and dear to my heart because of the tones, the grungy greens, earthy, the olives, the browns, the depth, the light, you know, the shimmer tones, all of it. There's tons of stuff you can do with this too. And this wasn't in BH Cosmetics, was at its height of its quality and formulation. I can't say that about BH Cosmetics anymore, because Makeup Revolution bought them, and then I don't know what the hell happened. Jan Van just got their newly released palettes, right? And I think she likes them. I am so behind on people's videos. I got to get my ass in gear and get caught up. I'm trying. It's just not always easy for me to do that. Anyway, this is beautiful. I love having it. It will always have a very special place in my heart and in my collection. But I had to give this palette the number 1 spot. This is the ColourPop Aurora Struck palette. You guys, I'm telling you, this really is, and I know I say this every so often, and you guys are probably thinking, so then what differentiates one from the next? But this is one of the best makeup purchases in terms of eyeshadow palettes, of course, that I've ever made. This is so awesome. I love all the options you have in here. It's one of ColourPop's best formulated palettes. I love the cool tones. I love the depth and the light and the icy. I did do a 3 looks video with this and really had a lot of fun, and I want to do another 3, 4, 12, 25 look video with this too. That would be a little much, but don't you think that's beautiful? If you're into cool tones, I highly recommend picking up this palette. ColourPop has sales on their mega palettes all the time, and I think they still sell this. I mean, really, I love it. I love it. It's number 1 in this ranking for a definite reason, because it's just so freaking good. It's so good. So that's how I rank these 10 palettes for this go round. And I hope you guys are cool with me just kind of starting fresh in 2025, because I know a few of these have already been pulled into past episodes, but not in this exact order or this exact random generation. I don't know, I got rid of all of my other, the papers I had on my other, had the palettes written down on, and I just didn't keep track of the check marks I put next to. Anyway, let me know what you think of this ranking. Let me know if you have any of these palettes in your collection. And I really do appreciate you hanging out and watching. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course comment down below in the comment section. I'd love to chat with you guys there. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video, but in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy, and I will see you soon. Bye.
Drop it.